The vibrant city of Rio de Janeiro has undergone dramatic changes in the last century. From its humble beginnings as a colonial city in the late 19th century to its reimagining as a major commercial and global center in the 21st century, Rio de Janeiro has shifted and developed in many fascinating ways. Rio de Janeiro in the late 19th century was a much smaller city than it is today. The population at the time of the 1900 census was 460,000, compared to the estimated 6.7 million inhabitants in 2020. At the turn of the century, the city was also much poorer than it is today, with a large percentage of the population living in poverty. The major industries at the time included shipping, fishing, and sugar production. The city also had a vibrant cultural life, with many classic symbols of the city, such as the Corcovado Statue, already in existence. In the 1920s, Rio experienced a major population boom, driven by the migration of people from the countryside seeking economic opportunities in the city. This influx of people led to a dramatic expansion of the city's infrastructure, and by the 1950s, Rio was a modern city, with a growing middle class and infrastructure to match. This was also a time of intense political and social turmoil in Rio de Janeiro, with a military dictatorship in power and a growing social movement demanding change. The 1980s and 1990s saw a continued period of growth and development in Rio. This was a time of increased investment in the city, with large sums of money being poured into new infrastructure and public services. This era also saw the emergence of Rio de Janeiro as a major tourist destination and a global city. The 2000s saw a further expansion of the city's infrastructure, with extensive investments in the city's transportation system and other public services. Today, Rio de Janeiro is a bustling city with a rich cultural life and a thriving economy. The city is home to some of the most iconic sites in the world and has become a world-renowned tourist destination. The city has also become a hub for business and finance, and is a major center for the Brazilian economy. The population of the city continues to grow, with a current estimated 6.7 million inhabitants, and much of this growth is due to immigration from other parts of Brazil and abroad. While Rio de Janeiro has changed dramatically in the last century, it has managed to preserve its unique culture and identity. Despite the many changes, Rio de Janeiro remains a vibrant and fascinating city, with a deep cultural history and a modern outlook.